up oil spills. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm using diesel fuel here today, but you can use it works on any oil. So any oil across the spectrum and any surface. I'm gonna take some, put it in the water. I know you guys don't probably have water spills, but let's say you have a rainy day. Pour some in the water. Let's pour some in a parking lot. And the first thing we're going to do, this is a pooling oil spill. It's a very important takeaway. This is pooling oil. The only time you're going to use the oil solutions powder is if it just happened. Pool oil above the ground. Floating, pooling oil. And the big takeaway here is you want to apply, most people just do it like that and they kind of stop. You got to keep going until you have white powder on top. Now, the great part about that is what that means is that the oil solutions powder went all the way through to the bottom, grabbed it all, and you don't have to do anything. You guys are probably familiar with your oil dries and oil pads, how you just kind of, you're either working them in or you're waiting for them to work. This does all the work for you. As soon as you have that white powder on top, that you got it, you're done. I'm gonna do this a little quicker because we're doing a demonstration here. But in real time, you want to leave this probably for about 15 minutes on a hard surface, and on water, you want to leave it for about an hour if you have water involved. After about 5 or 10 minutes, you can take a broom. I'm going to use my hand, scrape all your good powder off. You get all that powder back. Don't waste it. Put it back in the bag for the next spill. Also, you're limiting your disposal too. So this is like low disposal. With oil dry, you guys I'm sure would agree. Like you dump bags and bags of it down. Now it's all contaminated. Now you have to like get rid of it all. So you're kind of wasting it. This only uses exactly what it needs and it stops working. This is dry now. There'll be no rainbow, no sheen, nothing coming off this. And you can take a broom now and sweep this up. But I'm gonna use a scraper. Make it real quick. And within a couple of minutes, you get dry, non-toxic rubber. Just a dry piece of rubber. You'll never be able to find the oil that's in there. This is basically as if I rip the bottom of your shoe off and I'm holding it in my hand. Discard that. And now this is the part where you guys are probably gonna have more of. Remember, save your powder. Don't throw it away. Okay, see that oil stain on the table, right? So that's now that this would represent a forklift. You're working on it, you get some hydraulic on the ground, you get some motor oil on the ground, you get some kind of oil fluid on the ground. It works on antifreeze too. And it's just kind of on the ground and kind of wet and soaked in, right? That's a different type of spill. So you're not really going to use the powder for that. I mean, you could, but it would be better just to jump over to the liquid. This is called oil solution step 1 and step 2. Like I said, you can put this in sprayers. Pouring it on is the fastest and easiest way to do it. The big takeaway from this is you could put your 1 on, then your 2. You could even do your 2, then your 1. Or the way I like to do it is I like to do it at the same time. And the reason I like to do it at the same time is you want to use kind of equal portions. You don't have to get crazy, but you want to use as close to equal portions. If you hit it perfect with equal portions, it's going to turn into that gel right away. So now you went from a liquid right to a gel. And then that's going to lift the oil out of the ground and it's going to turn into a dry sand. And you come back a few hours later, the next day or a couple days later, and you're going to see it's going to look like this. You're just going to see some dry sand on the ground. No cleanup. It's just sand. There's nothing toxic there. There's nothing hazardous. You don't have to clean it up. If you want to sweep it up, you can. Nobody does. You guys will be the first. I mean, I guess people do it when they're on like somebody else's property or somebody else's house. But if you're out in a working parking lot, you really don't need to do it so much. Okay, so the big takeaways are the powder is for pooling oil only, and you clean it up pretty much right after you use it. The liquid, you do not clean it up. 1, 2 equal portions, rub it in, you're done. If you ever call me up and you go, Kev, what about this spill? What about soil? What about this one? Put your 1 and 2 on, rub it in, and you're done. It's the same instructions across the board. It doesn't change. One cool feature is and you guys probably have this, if you have a yard with trucks, forklifts, machinery, and it's a rainy day, maybe it's just drizzling, and you're getting that rainbow sheen across your parking lot. You just get a couple of droplets and it kind of fans all out. Just take your step 1 by itself, put it in a sprayer, and you spray it, and it will clean the oil sheen immediately. It cleans oil sheen on contact. And it doesn't do what Dawn soap does, which is nothing. And Dawn soap just drops it to the bottom and then it comes back the next time it rains. So it never goes away. This cleans it up permanently. So step 1 for sheen only. We actually sell a lot of it for that. Step 1 and 2 is going to be the thing that you primarily use all the time. That's going to be for your oil stain, oil soaked into the blacktop, cement, asphalt, rock, basically any surface. And then your powder is going to be only for pooling oil. And that's pretty much it. And it's just after you do it once or twice, you get used to it. It's just a matter of playing around with it. I really sometimes, if you want to do this, it's a great idea. If you want to do it today, make a little diesel spill or something in your yard, just a little, little 12-inch by 12-inch circle. Let it sit for a couple minutes so it soaks in, and then put your step 1, step 2 on. Gently rub it in with a little broom. It's good to have a couple of brooms around. And then just leave it, and then let your crew see it the next day. The next day the stain will be completely gone, and you'll see that white powder. And then now you guys have moved to the next, you got to move to the next level where now you've used it, you see that it works, and then everybody kind of laughs and can move forward with it. Last thing I'll show you, if you do have pooling oil on water, I'm going to grab all my good powder. Again, always save the powder, and put it in my pile. And there's all my oil, and the only thing getting on my hands is a little bit of water that's wet from the water bowl, and that's what you're walking away with. It's not technically rubber, but it feels like rubber. But what it is it's encapsulated hydrocarbons. That's really what it is, and it'll float there indefinitely. It'll never get into the water. My water is crystal clear. Any powder, save it. It's hydrophobic, so it's not attracted to anything besides oil. Both products, just like oils, if they don't find oil, they just sit there and wait for oil, or they dry up and disappear. You see, I'm not using any PPE equipment, no gloves, no mask. This doesn't cause any, there's no dust quality to it. So even if you're in a tight space or something, you can use it. You don't have to wear a mask. You're not going to breathe it in. If you do breathe it in or something, which has really never happened, it's not going to hurt you. The liquid, you can clean your hands with it. It's not going to hurt you. You could dump it on your lawn. You wouldn't hurt one blade of grass. There's nothing negative to use these. It will literally is probably the safest product that you guys have. Any questions? Thoughts?
No, I don't have any questions.
This demo, just so you know, when I first started with the product a little over 20 years ago, I used to just take like a little Dixie cup and put some oil in it, and then put the products in it and shake it around and hand it to the prospective customer, and they go, "Oh, that's pretty cool." I didn't really know what they were seeing. And this developed based on about 4 years of going on the road and getting questions from people. Like, what about this? How does it work on that? What about this? And then this is how this developed, because it seems simple, right? But it took years to do this, years. And then, so this demo is basically like 4 or 5 years of every single question I ever got. So that's why 99% of the time I do this, and people just go, "How much is it? Where do we get it?" Cool. So it's designed to take away all your questions. But anyway, no, but if your spills are pretty simple. Not that they're, not difficult or anything, but this will solve any, like in a couple of months from now, you shouldn't have any stains on your property, and spills should be like nothing to take care of. It should be very easy to handle. If you guys have any vendors that work on your sites or anything like that, and you think they might have interest, you can point them my way. I'll train them and anything like that. I'm still a small company, so if you know anybody who may have the need, I'm open for business. We got the two guys. I don't see their pictures. Does anybody have anything? Thoughts?
My only thought, because the majority of spills and sort of what prompted us for this is obviously, I'm assuming it works on like concrete floors for shop areas as well.
Every surface, soil, blacktop, cement, wood, metal. I mean, anywhere oil went. The only thing you can't use it on is glass. I had one guy, he got hydraulic oil over his F-150, sprayed the truck down. He goes, "Kevin, it's great. It cleaned off all the oil, but my windows are kind of hazy now, fogged out a little bit." The product kind of gets in all the little nooks and crannies in the glass and kind of it will go away in time, but it was a little bit of a problem. So don't wash your windshield with it. But yeah, every surface and every oil, every surface except glass.
It's good. Nothing else from me. Sounds like a good product for the scale of spills that we're talking about.
Cool. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Glenn doesn't have anything. He messaged me.
Okay, cool. And then try to think of some of the questions that come. So really, I would say the biggest problem I run into is number one, people not having product. So you have a spill, you're using it, and then when you start using it, you start liking it and get like addicted to it because you want it. And then you call me, and just keep in mind there's like a 2 or 3 day transit between us. So if you run out, you're not going to have it for a couple days. And then two, I would say not using enough is a big deal. Like sometimes I'll have people will get smart and they'll put this like in Windex sprayers, little hand sprayer, and they'll go just kind of spritz it. And I wish it worked that good, but you have to assume any oil spill that hit the ground soaked in at least right away, soaked in at least an inch, or you know what I mean, half an inch. So when you put it on, don't do a topical treatment. You always want to put it on so it soaks into the ground, and you want to get that oil out of the ground. That's probably the one of the biggest things that people do is not using enough. And then some people forget that the liquid, the step 1, step 2 liquid, you don't clean it up. You just put it on and leave it. And after a couple hours, it'll dry into sand, and there's really no cleanup. So that's the third biggest thing I run into is I'll be dealing with guys doing a spill, and every time I see it, I'm like, the spill's not moving. And they go, yeah, well, tell me what you're doing. They go, we put it on, rub it in, and then we wash it off with a hose. I'm like, okay, gotcha. It's a problem solved. So, I said, you can't you wash it away. It's like putting soap on your hand, just putting your hand under the faucet, and then that's it. It's the end of that. So you want to powder you clean up after a little bit, and then the liquid, never clean it up. There's no cleanup. Do you guys have, I forget, do you guys have some product? Okay. Cool. What do you have, 5-gallon pails or? Okay. Cool. All right. That's the show.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. I think they're the gallon pails for now. I just wanted to show everybody the product, and then I have experience with it at one of my other jobs, so I wanted to get them introduced to it and show them before we buy anything large scale.
Yeah, I would say the best value and the easiest are going to be your 5-gallon pails that it comes in. Those are great, and they have a nice pour spout on them. You can put them in different areas of the shop, and then if you guys really get good at it, like the 55-gallon drums are great. They come with a pump on top, so you make your own kits. A lot of guys like doing that because some guys want gallon jugs, some guys want 5-gallon pails, some guys just need a little bit. So the 55 gallons are probably the best value you're going to get, for the product. And
do you have like instructional signage for like kind of thing you could put up in a shop, like a simple sort of 1, 2, 3 for guys who might not get like immediate training with it, but can reference how to use it?
Definitely. I don't. So there's so many different types of people who use it in different ways. So I don't have like one specific one, but I could email you. I'll email Christian. I'll email like just a 1, 2, 3, and basically just again, guys, it's just going to be powder for pooling oil. Put it on, sweep it away after 10 minutes. Liquid, step 1, step 2, equal portions, never clean it up. So that's what it's going to say. That's about as simple as I can make it. Some people still don't get it. I had a guy once, he calls me up and he goes, hey, I put the step 1 on. When do I put the step 2 on? And I go, well, when did you put the step 1 on? He goes, about a month ago. I was like, wow. I go, that's going to be hard to top that one. That was a real call too. And then I have other people who just go, wait, when I put the 1 on, I saw you rub it in. Do I rub it in? And they get all caught up in that. And I'm like, just put the 1 and 2 on any way you can and then rub them in. You can put 1 and rub it and 2 and rub it. You don't have to do that, but just get 1 and 2 on in some capacity and then rub it in. That's always going to be, like I said, that no matter what type of spill you're doing, 1 and 2, rub it in. If you're ever doing it and it's very, very, see how this is nice and dry? It's like a dry gel. So if you're ever doing it and it's like kind of milky and wet and you go, hey, something's wrong with Kevin's product. It's like, oh, it's not gelling up the way he did it. So what that means is you're doing this much step 2 and then this much step 1. You're doing offset ratios. So it's still going to work, but it's going to be it's going to be sloppier. It's going to take a lot longer to dry. It's going to stay in that wet, milky form for a lot longer. So it's not a big deal. Some people always use it that way, and that's the way they use it. But if you can get it close to equal portions, it just starts to dry right away. And that's important to me because I'm usually working in areas that are like high traffic areas, gas stations, highways. So I want the stuff to move quickly along. So if you do equal portions, as soon as they hit that equal portion mark, it's already drying up. It's already starting to dry. It dehydrates on its own. It just dries quicker, and you can walk on it after a short period of time, or drive over it with a forklift after a short period of time. I would say as soon as you put it down, if you drive through it with the forklift, it's going to be a little sloppy. You're going to take this gel with you a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything, but it's going to be a little sloppy. So you might want to try to not to drive on it immediately. So if you can let it go just for a little bit, it would be the best application. Little tip.
All right. That's all I've got.
Okay, man. Hey, nice to meet you. Thank you. And Christian, I'll send you some stuff. I'll send you those instructions, and I'll send you some more things. And then just keep me posted, guys, if you need anything.
Thank you.
Got it.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. See ya.